When our HOA president, Lisa, hit us with absurd fines for parking in our own driveway, she had no clue my dad was the banker reviewing their $1 million loan application. Ever wonder what happens when a power-hungry HOA picks a fight with the wrong family? I stared at the neon yellow notice tucked under my windshield wiper, my gut sinking fast. $150 fine driveway violation, it screamed in bold letters. Our own driveway. My brother Tim's graduation party had run late last night, and a few relatives stayed over, parking their cars with ours. Nothing seemed off when I crashed into bed. "Dad!" I shouted, bolting back into the house. "You've got to see this." My father, James Carter, glanced up from his coffee, brow furrowing. As a senior loan officer at Horizon Bank, he lived in a world of numbers and regulations, but even he looked baffled by the citation. "This doesn't add up," he muttered, scanning the fine print. "It says we broke Section 7.3 of the Oakwood Heights HOA rules, more than 2 vehicles in the driveway." Mom shuffled in, still in her robe. "That's insane. It's our property." Dad grabbed his phone. "I'm calling the HOA now." I watched his face shift from puzzled to pissed as he switched to speakerphone. "Oakwood Heights HOA, Lisa Thompson speaking," came a sharp voice. "Hi, this is James Carter from 312 Elm Lane. We got a parking violation this morning for family cars in our driveway. There's got to be a mix-up." The laugh that crackled through the line was icy, not warm. "No mix-up, Mr. Carter. Section 7.3 limits residents to 2 vehicles in their driveway. You had 5. That's a $150 fine." Dad's voice stayed calm, but his grip on the phone tightened. "Lisa, these were overnight guests for my son's graduation. Isn't there an exception for events? Rules are rules, Mr. Carter. If everyone parked however they pleased, this place would look like a junkyard. Pay within 10 days, or it doubles." "This is over the top," Dad pressed. "Can I appeal at the next board meeting?" "You can try," she snapped, "but I'm the president, and I documented this myself. The evidence is solid." As the call ended, I peeked through the blinds. Across the street, a woman with sleek dark hair stood in her driveway, phone in hand, staring at our house. She wore pricey yoga gear, and had that smug look grown-ups get when they think they've won. "Dad, that's her, watching us," I whispered. He joined me. "Lisa Thompson," he said softly. "Moved in 6 months ago, took over as president last month. First time I've dealt with her." That afternoon, we dug into the HOA rules. The driveway limit was real, hidden on page 37 of a 50-page packet we'd skimmed when we moved in 3 years back. "This is nuts," I said. "Who cares how many cars we had for one night?" Dad rubbed his temples. "Some people get off on control. We'll pay it for now, but I'm digging deeper." Then the doorbell rang. It was our neighbor, Mr. Evans, looking rattled. "Saw your citation," he said. "Lisa's just warming up." He told us his daughter's swing set got a removal order after years without issue. The Lopez family got fined for unapproved flower colors. Old Mrs. Harper got a warning for her bird feeder being 2 inches too tall. "She's on a power trip, Mr. Evans sighed, "and we're clueless how to stop her." After he left, Dad got quiet, hunched over his laptop, scrolling with focus. "What's that?" I asked. "Property maps and HOA financials, public for members," he replied. Next morning, another yellow slip hit our mailbox. Improper lawn maintenance, grass over 3.5 inches. Fine, $75. I ran it to Dad. She's targeting us. He took it, unfazed. I mowed 4 days ago. Mom threw up her hands. This is harassment. Do we call a lawyer? Dad's eyes glinted. Not yet. I found something last night. The HOA's after a $1.2 million loan for the community center Reno. They need it approved soon to start before winter. So? I asked. He grinned. Guess which bank they applied to? My jaw dropped. Horizon. Your bank. He nodded. And guess who's reviewing it? A slow grin spread across my face. Sometimes, Dad said, the universe balances itself. I glanced out the window. Lisa was measuring our grass with a tape and camera, oblivious to who she'd crossed. Things escalated fast. In a week, we racked up 5 violations: grass height, an unapproved garden gnome, noisy wind chimes, an improperly stored hose, and a mailbox 1 shade too gray. Total, $425. Dad didn't pay a dime, just made calls from his office in that cool, banker tone. Then the doorbell rang again. It was Mrs. Lee from down the street, clutching her own citation, eyes red. Is your dad here? She asked, voice shaky. I can't take this anymore. Soon, our living room was packed with neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Lee, the Lopezes, the Evanses, Mrs. Harper with her cane, even quiet Dr. Singh from the corner. Each had a Lisa horror story. She fined me for a delivery box on my porch for 4 hours, Dr. Singh said. I was in surgery. Mrs. Harper sniffled. She says my bird feeder's unsightly. Those birds are all I've got some days. Dad listened, jotting notes. When they finished, he spoke. I've been digging. Last year, before Lisa, the HOA collected $5,000 in fines. In 2 months under her, it's over $122,000. Gasps echoed. And, he added, bylaws say fines fund community upgrades, but recent ones aren't in the official books. Where's the money going? Mrs. Lopez asked. Dad's voice dropped. Maybe somewhere else, right when they are begging for $1 million loan. Silence fell. What do we do? Mr. Evans asked. Dad smiled. Lisa doesn't know, but my bank's auditing their finances for the loan. It's routine for big sums. My heart swelled. Dad wasn't fighting dirty, he was using his smarts, all legit. Then my phone buzzed. My buddy Sam texted, Dude, Lisa's ranting on the neighborhood Facebook page. I pulled it up. She'd posted a tirade about certain families tanking property values with their blatant rule-breaking. No names, but we knew. She's turning people against us, Mom said, stressed. Dad stayed cool. This helps us. She's leaving a trail. That afternoon, walking our dog, Buddy, I spotted an RV in Lisa's pal Sarah's side yard, banned by the same rules we'd studied. I snapped a pic and showed Dad. Interesting, he said. Let's document everything. Over dinner, he laid out the plan. HOA board meetings next Tuesday. We should all go. Won't Lisa shut us down? I asked. She can try, but bylaws let members speak. And we won't be alone. He was right. Tuesday's meeting was a zoo, chairs full, people standing, Lisa looking stunned as she banged her gavel. She rushed through the community center loan update. "It's on track," she chirped. "Next item, excuse me," Dad stood. "I'd like details on this loan." Her smile thinned. "Confidential, Mr. Carter." "Not when it uses our property as collateral," he shot back. Bylaws, Article 4, Section 2. The room went dead quiet. Lisa's face reddened. "Fine. It's $1.2 million from Horizon Bank for upgrades. Under review." "What's the holdup?" someone yelled. "They want more financial docs," she admitted. "Just red tape." Dad pressed. "About those fines, statements show $3,200 reported, but we've paid way more." Lisa stammered, "Those haven't processed yet." An old guy in back stood. "You cashed my check 8 weeks ago." Chaos erupted, neighbors comparing fines, Lisa banging her gavel. She cornered Dad after. "I don't know your game, Carter," she hissed, "but you're making an enemy." He met her gaze. "I'm just ensuring we all follow the rules, Lisa." "All of them." 2 weeks later, the audit hit. That night, I caught a figure in our yard with a flashlight. Our motion lights blazed, Lisa, startled, clutching something, then bolting. Morning revealed our garden trashed, a new citation pinned to the door, landscaping debris $200. But our doorbell cam caught it all. Dad slammed his briefcase down. "Look what landed on my desk." He spread out the HOA's loan app. "They need $1.2 million. Guess who's reviewing it?" I grinned. Life's dots were connecting. "We can't just deny them," he cautioned, "but I can dig deep." Another citation came, "Unapproved plants, $200. These have been here 5 years." I yelled. "It's personal now," Dad said, firing up his laptop. By lunch, he'd found the HOA's 2 prior loan rejections. "Why?" I asked. "That's what I'm finding out," he said, making calls. Mom, a real estate lawyer, jumped in. "HOA members can demand financials," she said. "We drafted a request for 5 years of records." Dad hand-delivered it to Lisa's door. She went from fake nice to shocked in seconds. "She's got 30 days, Mom noted." "Not if the bank needs it in 10, Dad winked. More citations piled up, low branches, uncoiled hose, late mail pickup. Then a fat envelope of HOA records hit Dad's office. That night, our table drowned in paper. "They are charging for fake services," Mom said. "No receipts here," Dad added. By dawn, they'd flagged 27 issues. At work, Dad cross-checked. "It's fraud," he said that night. "They've inflated income on loan apps." Next day, Lisa cornered me at the mailboxes. "Tell your dad to approve the loan," she hissed. "I'd hate for your family to drown in fines." My hands shook. "Are you bribing us?" "Don't be silly," she snapped. "Just one good turn for another." I told Dad. He got quiet, then called his bank's legal team. "This is fraud and coercion now," he said after. "They are investigating." News spread fast. A bank letter demanded more docs and a board meeting. Then, 3 days before the next HOA meet, Treasurer Mike Davis vanished, moving truck and all. The meeting was packed. Lisa's cool cracked as she shuffled papers. "The loan's fine," she chirped. "Rumors are nonsense." Dad stood. "I'm James Carter, Horizon Bank. I'm reviewing the HOA's app. Their financials don't match the bank's. Lisa snapped, "You're biased." Violation started after I got the case, he said, showing slides, $80,000 gaps, shady payments, uneven fines. Lisa paled. "This is a witch hunt." "It's with the state now," Dad said. Chaos reigned. Lisa stormed up post-meeting. "You've ruined my legacy." Tears streaked her face. "This center was for my late husband." "Bending rules isn't misconduct," Mom said. Lisa glared. "I am still president. I can make your life hell." Mr. Ortiz, a retired judge, stepped in. "Bylaws allow removal under investigation. I call a vote." It was a landslide against her. The audit later revealed a multi-HOA fraud ring tied to Lisa. That night, our trash was trashed, doorbell rung at 3 a.m. "They are scared," Mom said. By afternoon, news vans swarmed. "Did your dad bust $1 million scam?" a reporter asked me. Dad cut in, "No comment yet." Inside, Mom called the DA. What started with parking fines had blown wide open. Then came the media storm. Reporters camped out after Mrs. Lopez's footage showed Lisa and Sarah trashing our garden at 2 a.m. The neighborhood page lit up, 126 posts of Lisa's tyranny. A meeting brewed at the Evanses. "She built 6 $2,400 dinners," Mrs. Lee said. Landscaping to her sister-in-law, someone added. Mr. Evans waved a petition. 70% signatures, and we oust them. Mr. Ortiz nodded. "This is embezzlement." A text hit my phone, "Back off, or your dad's career's toast." I showed Dad. "She's desperate," he said. That night, we planned, signatures, evidence, the works. Lisa's SUV cruised by, a warning. "Risks come with doing right," Dad said. Then an email from Lisa's daughter, Emily, safe behind Mom's desk. "Delete it," Dad urged. "Could be a trap." But I hesitated. At the emergency meeting, Lisa flashed fake financials. "All's well," she lied. Dad called her out. "These don't match the bank's." She smirked. "Prove it." My phone buzzed, Emily again, 24-18-32, records inside. I showed Dad. Mr. Evans slipped out, returned with a ledger. "Real records," he said. Emily stepped in. I gave access. "I'm done with lies, Mom." Lisa crumpled. The vote booted her board, 92%. She paid back the funds, sold her house, moved to Arizona. Emily stayed. "Maybe friends now?" she asked me. Spring brought new bylaws, a block party, cars everywhere, no fines. "Small fights can fix big things," I told Dad, watching neighbors connect. "Sometimes," he said, "standing up doesn't just solve one problem, it rebuilds everything." Our driveway, full of cars that night, proved it wasn't about rules, but the people who lived them.